Hi, Sweetpea.
Hi, Mummy Bear.
It's Chit-Chat time.
It is. We're back with another series.
Back with a vengeance. This is series 3.
Back with a vengeance. We're coming back to
You're now just thinking of Marvel films.
Of course. So I'm immediately going to think of the Avengers.
Well, on this one, we have an Everlasting Bloom superhero.
We sure do.
This is Layla Robinson. She
Yes.
was on Gardener's World 2024, episode 25.
Yeah.
And she had Sue Kent joining her at her lovely place in Hay-on-Wye.
Yeah.
Near Hay-on-Wye. And they had a look around her garden at all the flowers and blooms that she was growing there.
Yeah.
And then, do you remember they made those beautiful panels using
Utterly gorgeous.
wooden, sort of rustic wooden frames and then chicken wire. And then they entwined these blooms. A lot of straw flowers, I remember.
Yeah, loads of straw flowers, little grasses, all sorts. And it was really lovely seeing what she had been growing and then having dried it and how it had become. And I thought that was just rather magnificent.
And that's the significant point, Sweetpea. Thanks for mentioning that. She dries her flowers.
She dries her flowers.
Hence their everlasting blooms. And we get to hear a lot about the process and how she chooses her flowers and all of that in this episode.
We had I just remember having a really fabulous chat, and at the same time my head just being muddled up like exploding.
You were like the definition of that emoji where there's the head.
Yeah.
The head, what's it called? Mind blown.
The mind blown emoji.
But you and Layla had a lot in common in terms of flowers that you like. In fact, you're both growing similar ones.
We are
this year.
Yeah.
So it was a lovely chat, and Layla takes us on a unique twist, kind of blurring the lines between ornamentals and edibles.
Yes.
This is what caused Sweetpea a bit of
a blurred head. That's what happened. My head just became a big blur.
Just a big blob.
Blurry
blob. But we talk rainbow flowers, rainbow vegetables.
Yep, all sorts. We talk about mushrooms, which you really got into.
Big into mushrooms.
And now there's going to be a lot of spritzing, I have a feel.
And a lot of fungus in my bedroom.
A lot of fungus in your bedroom. Oh, no.
But despite all the jibber-jabbering that we had, for quite a lengthy amount of time, we completely neglected to talk about a really fundamental thing that Layla is up to this year.
Yeah, completely, which is mad.
It's completely mad.
Crazy
as well as the book that she's written, Everlasting Blooms, which we do talk about, and I'll put a link to on our website, notjustagarden.co.uk.
To pre-order.
You can pre-order it now. I think it's out middle of June, I think it comes out, so not long to wait.
Oh, yes.
We completely neglected to talk about Chelsea Flower Show and that Layla is exhibiting for the first time this year.
Yeah.
And it all came about from Sue's visit to her on Gardener's World. It was actually Sue Kent who is kind of the catalyst behind Layla exhibiting at Chelsea.
Yeah.
She ignited that fire, I think, in Layla. So Layla's exhibiting in the Great Pavilion.
Yeah.
Where they have all the floral things, stands.
So beautiful.
And her exhibit is called Love Our Rivers. And it's an homage to our UK rivers and waterways using her everlasting flowers, which have all come from her garden or she's foraged nearby.
Oh, that's lovely.
And the theme has come from Layla and her family's love for the UK rivers and waterways, but specifically swimming in them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, there was an issue with a lot of nasty stuff being dumped in our rivers last year, or maybe the year before.
Oh gosh, yes, I did hear about that.
Layla's really passionate about keeping them clean and healthy, and also keeping them teeming with essential wildlife. So this is where that theme comes from. And I just wanted to say it in Layla's words, because she says it best, a description of her exhibit. The visitors will see a tall display sat on a 1 metre tall plinth. It will be created entirely using everlasting flowers and filling most of the allocated space, starting at top with an ethereal, delicate white flower cloud, out of which strands of honesty and hydrangea petals rain down to form a river of blue flowers running between textural bursts of wild grasses and vibrant, bold flower clusters, which then cascade down in a waterfall of textured blue, green and white flowers, flowing into a bed of frothing blue hydrangeas and honesty at the base of the plinth.
God, that sounds so
It does
mesmerising.
sound incredible, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh, and also she has to grow a lot of blue flowers, which is very hard to do because there are very few true blue flowers. So That is amazing.
Yeah, be fantastic to see. And also the other thing is, it's not just growing the blue flowers, it's the drying process and what colour they end up.
But exactly, keeping that kind of stain to them.
So that's what's happening at Chelsea Flower Show for Layla. And another point, she contacted me after our chat, and both she and I have something in common, which is massive brain fog. And her brain fog was such that she said she has 12 beds, but in fact she has 20.
Huge difference.
So listen out for that.
Yeah.
In terms of noises,
what have we got?
I think we had a few hobsy grunts and a couple of microphone knocks, but otherwise it's quite clear on this one.
Oh, brilliant. We boshed it.
So as always, any recommendations that Layla has made, and she made quite a few.
She did.
I'll be putting links to those on our website, as I said, notjustagarden.co.uk.
Yeah.
If you want to get in touch, you can email us at notjustagarden@outlook.com or on our contact page on our website. And please also do subscribe and leave a review on your preferred podcast platform if you enjoyed it, and
absolutely
don't if you didn't.
Yeah, of course. And just tell us what you're enjoying, what you're loving. We'd love to hear it.
So without further ado, I think we should have a listen to Layla.
Absolutely.
So this is episode 29, a good old chit-chat with Layla Robinson.
Prepare to have your mind blown away.
Welcome, Layla, to Good Old Chit-Chat.
Hello. So nice to be here.
So lovely to see you. We did see you virtually on Gardener's World last year. I think it was around episode 25, wasn't it? When Sue Kent came to visit you at your amazing flower farm studio setup.
Yeah.
How did that all come about?
It was that I just got an email saying, would I like to feature on Gardener's World? And I thought, it was about a year before, so in 2023, and just got this email saying, would you consider it? Just getting a few feelers out there, and I just emailed them back and said, yeah, that'd be great. Kind of forgot about it, and then the following year they sort of said, oh, are you still interested, and can we come up and have a look? And so it's great.
Oh, wow.
Was it last year that they visited, 2024?
Yeah, so it was basically, I have a window and my garden looks good, and so they had to fit into that window. And you know what the weather was like last year? It was really disgusting, and it was kind of and I basically, because my garden is I cut and dry all my flowers, there's a moment where it's full of flowers and then I chop them all off, and then it doesn't look good anymore.
What's that
so
window,
there's like
then?
A fortnight, so it's like the last week of July, the first week in August, and it's always the same every year.
It's short.
Very short window.
It's a short window, because once you have your glut, it's like they all get picked and then it looks kind of patchy, and it doesn't look as glamourous anymore.
Oh no.
So we had this window.
So you say it's always the same every year, so that end of July, beginning of August isn't weather dependent then, so you aren't noticing a shift.
There can be a shift, like I think it's been earlier when it's really hot. We had that year, I think it was a couple of years previously, when it was really, really hot weather, and things came, it was kind of like mid-July, end of July, rather than beginning of August.
Right.
But I guess there's the timing of when I plant everything out, and once that weather starts heating up and those daylight hours are the longest, that's when all the flowers really get going.
So on the show you said about your straw flowers, and that you start them off on a windowsill inside. In was it February that you do
February,
that?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you really fastidious about every year hitting that right week in February to do it, or do you have a bit of a lag sometimes? Go, oh no, I haven't got them out.
Yeah, there's always, I'm not somebody who's really rigidly organised about anything, but I have in my head, I've got to get those straw flowers sown, because it's, especially at that time of year, everything's quite slow to germinate, and they can take a couple of weeks to get even germinating, and then another few weeks to get to little seedlings. And I aim to have them so that I can pot them up and put them in my polytunnel in March, when the weather's getting a bit warmer, and they can be put undercover but outside, because they are quite robust, straw flowers, surprisingly. They can cope with a little bit of frost and a bit of cold. It's not like they can't cope with any, but they can't cope with full-blown frosts outside. But
well, Sweetpea, you're trying some straw flowers this year.
I am. First year I'm doing them, because I think I managed to kill all the plants last year, which is incredible. I don't know how that happened, but I have got them this year. I've got about 10 pots of them, of like quite a few little plants, because I wanted to have this bank of cut flowers, because I love cut flowers as well. And I just always thought that straw flowers are just perfect. That crackle to them.
think you've been quite inspired by seeing segments like yours,
great.
Layla. You've got that incredible setup.
Well, feel heartened. They're quite tricky, actually.
Oh, are they?
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. They're the most biggest, robustest, juiciest plants to get sort of 5 foot tall. But when they're seedlings, they're absolutely tiny.
Yeah.
And, if the seed isn't totally fresh or they get a bit too waterlogged, then they just disappear and you've just lost the lot.
That's
so
why.
There you go.
Okay. Understanding my mistake now.
Yeah.
So when I said earlier you have a flower farm, you said that sounds far more glamorous than it is. What is your setup? Because you're all based at home, aren't you? Your studio's at home, your flowers are at home. What's your setup?
Well, I mean, we've got about an acre here, and so a surprisingly small area is down to sort of my cut flower beds, because I can only sort of dry as much as I can store for a start. So it's only what I can keep dry, and like in the temperature that we live in. So it's got to be a heated, dried thing all year round. And also because they're cut and come again, a lot of these things, you're kind of picking off them from July through to November. It's quite a long time. You're not necessarily just raising the whole lot to the ground. So you don't really, you can get a lot from a small area. And I've got about 12 beds that are probably 3 meters by a meter wide. It's not it's not a huge space.
Right.
So I'd say it's more of a garden rather than a farm.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then with those 12 beds, they are providing you with your cut flowers for your amazing arrangements, but also you do courses, you do workshops, don't you, from home?
Yeah.
So how does that work?
I mean, mostly I just do wreath making workshops or flower panel workshops where people come and make something. So, I mean, it's lovely when it's harvest time because I've just got stuff hanging everywhere and they're the brightest, and they can just come in. And what I try and do with my workshops is really let people have free reign so they can really explore their own creative style and find the artist inside themselves with their choices rather than saying, here's your little pile of flowers. You can use these. It's like, what do you want? Go for it.
So you're not prescriptive then, you're just
it's really, and that's the most magical part is seeing how they explore that and quite often do things they don't expect. So that's the joy of having my own flowers for them to use because I can be quite generous with it.
So are they generally people who come to your workshops, do they have an artisty, florally background, or can they come with absolutely no skills no known skills whatsoever and then suddenly unleash this sort of hidden talent of
the flowers inside of them?
yeah, totally. It's a total mixture. I mean, I get some people that are florists that have been going for years and they just want to add another skill to their portfolio, or you get some people that are just starting out in floristry and this is a really good starting point, and you get some people that just love flowers, love creativity, and have never done it before, never even touched dried flowers before, and just come here and it's their first time. So
it sounds fantastic. It's this sort of thing. When we saw it on the show, you doing it with Sue Kent, Sweetpea was just going, I still need to do that. We love that chicken wire panels. I love the kind of ruggedness of chicken wire and then a wooden frame, and then the beauty, natural beauty of all of it is just fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I that's what I love about it. Is I love the slightly industrially sort of the sort of hard element with the flowers. I think it sort of sets them off.
It's a beautiful juxtaposition, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's your background then in terms of horticulture and art?
Well, my background was my family of a family of artists. My grandmother's painted, my aunties paint, my mum used to paint, so I've grown up with a lot of creativity, and my dad used to always do woodwork and stuff like that. So I really kind of learned about putting things together and the kind of mechanics behind things as well. And we always had a garden. So there's always been plants in my life as far as I can remember. As a young child, I used to sort of be digging up wild strawberries out the hedgerow and trying to make little gardens out of them and stuff. So
fun, yeah.
I've always had that thing, a fascination with flowers. And then I went to horticultural college at Pershore, horticultural college. And
so is that sixth form college?
No, so I went there when I was 21.
So you did GCSEs, A levels, and then went there afterwards.
I was actually home educated.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. So I went straight to college.
Right.
And so hence, it was a little bit later for me, but then I had to self-finance it. And it was just as the college grants were kind of going. So I got a little bit of one for a year and then they finished. So I did a modern apprenticeship where I worked in the grounds of the college.
Oh, wow.
To earn money, to then also learn at the same time.
Oh, that's an ideal setup, isn't it?
So that was really good. And so I learned sort of garden and landscape design and management and everything you can want to know about horticulture, really. So it was being part of the college staff as well, which is quite good fun.
You got to see behind the scenes a bit as well, I guess.
Yeah.
And then what qualification did that give you?
So I got a NCH, is it NCH in horticulture? It's so long ago, and then I got a NVQ level 3 in landscape design and management.
Right.
That, and I nearly went on.
The course?
So I did a first foundation of a year, and then I did another further 2 years, and I nearly went on to go further and do HND and a degree, but in the end, financially, I couldn't afford to go on and do that. So I decided to go into my own gardening business from that point.
Was this when you set up Darling Buds of Hay?
That came later.
Oh, did it? Okay, so what was the next step? So you leave college, you've got these qualifications.
Left college.
To go.
And then I decided, because where we live is quite rural, it's not like there weren't that many sort of, say, on the shelf jobs available at the time. And I just thought, I'd been asked by loads of people, would you come and do our garden? So I ended up being a freelance gardener, but a kind of specialist one. And I ended up working in some really amazing sort of country gardens around Herefordshire, where I basically worked with real plant lovers, and that was really nice. So I did that for nearly 10 years.
Wow. Well, it's a beautiful place to work, Herefordshire.
Yeah, it was really nice. Some of the gardens were just, really lovely, really amazing people. So that was really nice. But then when I got pregnant, I decided to change tack. I thought, right, I've done that, a good stint at that, but it's quite physical. And I thought it's a perfect opportunity to try something else. And so that's when we'd bought the place where we are now. And that's where the Darling Buds of Hay came in, because that was my cut flower, the beginning of my cut flower business. Yeah.
So that was fresh flowers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And how long were you running that for?
So I started that. It's so sort of foggy, but my daughter was about 1, so it's about 17 years ago.
Right.
And it was one of those things that I started off, because it was, at that point, the whole British flower movement and growing UK flowers is really quite new. And it was a really new concept where there were only a few pockets of people having a go at it. And it felt quite exciting. But the reality of actually keeping up with a fresh product, where you've got to make sure that you're planting it, growing it, staking it, picking it,
stressful,
selling it. And actually, when you've got little kids, it didn't fit as well as I thought it might.
No.
So I sort of did that, but realised it was quite stressful to keep that together.
Imagine.
But, I did then discover in the winter some of the more sculpturally sort of dried stuff. And that was the beginning.
More twiggy things.
Yeah. And seed heads and dried bits, bobs.
Berries and bracken and, that sort of thing. But
so that moved you to the everlasting
it started to creep in. So I sort of did it alongside. But then I realised, I just remember this one winter, because at this time I was doing it all in my kitchen with a toddler running around my ankles. And I did a wedding.
Didn't have a... Sorry, is this for the fresh flowers?
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, wow,
I didn't have a studio. I was just... I've got barns outside. I've got I've got barns I can do stuff in the summer, but in the winter it's like kitchen table.
Far too stressful.
And I had this kind of archway pinned to the door, that I was working on, and I realised this is quite good. I can kind of do an hour, and then I can walk away and cook dinner or whatever, and then I can go back and do another hour, and I can take a week over it.
Yeah.
I thought, this is quite nice, and all the stuff is kind of out of the hedgerows, and that was the beginning of realising how nice that was, the freedom it gave me.
Wow, so this idea evolved whilst you had the fresh flower business. At what point did you think, actually, I could earn my keep with this instead and shut shop with the fresh flowers?
It was a gradual thing, because I did that in the winter and then carried on going with the fresh in the summer. But I was starting to grow more and more dried stuff a little bit more each year, thinking, maybe I could try this and try this. So I probably did... I was trying to think, because I used to do sort of wreath courses, probably 2017, 2018, I started doing courses in the winter. And again, each time I did that, and then I started just getting names. So people started to ask me more and more for that sort of thing. And, by this time I'd had my third daughter, and it was just getting to the point of, I think it was basically when COVID hit. That's when it was final thing. 2019, I had a big wedding that I'd been growing for. And they wanted blue and white, so it was like specific. It's not like you can say, I'll just make up with whatever. I had all these flowers growing, and then they cancelled 2 weeks before the wedding. And it wasn't they could have done it, but it wasn't really their fault. But anyway, I just thought, that's awful. No, really awful. And then the following year they said, so can we do it again? And it's like, I just thought, no, actually, no. I just thought, this is the moment. I've just got to make a clean jump.
Yeah.
And jump from one and commit to the other. And I just said, actually, do you know what? This is the catalyst that I needed, in a way, to say, I'm going to commit to one thing and be specialist.
It's interesting because that year of COVID was a miserable time for many, but also it's been a really pivotal year for many people. And we've heard a lot about people hitting that time and it either forcing their hand to redirect what they were doing with their careers, lives, everything, or it's been a natural moment of, do you know what, this works really well, this is what I'm going to continue doing going forward. It's been quite an interesting stake in the ground, I think, for certainly our lifetime.
It made people think, didn't it?
Yeah, totally. And I think it was the same for me. Just suddenly thought, what am I doing? Doing things that kind of don't really work. Like, actually, it's time to say goodbye and have the courage, I think. The space to say, make that change.
I think the courage thing is so important, but it is as easy as saying, I'm making this decision. And then once you've done that, you draw the line in the sand and you step over it and you continue on. And if you kind of force your hand to do that, you're forced to make a success of it because you've left everything else behind. So and you've clearly made a success with this, and it sounds like it sounds so logical to go down the everlasting flowers route, and a lot more ecological and economical, and there's so many positives to it. You've written a book recently, haven't you, that's coming out this year?
Yes, so that was last year, and it's called Everlasting Blooms, and it's coming out on the 19th of June, so not long now.
Not long. And you can pre-order, presumably.
You can pre-order, so there's a link on my website and on my Instagram page that takes you to the various buying options that are available.
Okay.
And obviously once it comes out, then there'll be more options of shops and various places to get it from as well. So.
Oh, brilliant. Well, we'll put a link to that on our website as well. I saw on your Instagram page you kind of do a flick through of it so you can get an idea of what's inside. And how does that feel, having a book out? Is this your first one?
It's my first book, and it's really, really exciting. It's quite a strange feeling because I'm really excited and slightly nervous, and I feel like there's a part of me in that book. It's my history. The history that we've just talked through is in there, and that's part of what I'm, you kind of, when it's not really that, it's more just, for me, the journey of getting to all those designs and the flowers and my style has been that journey. So I feel like I'm sharing a bit of myself sort of sharing it with other people. So it's quite a strange feeling. I feel strangely vulnerable in a way as well,
Yeah, of course.
I can completely
because you're laying yourself on the table, aren't you, and going, everybody, here it is.
Yeah, here I am. Here's Layla.
But
so
it's very
exciting. Partly an autobiography and partly about how to make this design.
It's a mostly how-to book. So it's got 28 of my designs in it, which is quite a bit.
Cat.
Cat's joined us.
Cat, she's literally broken in. It's 28 of my designs, so it's mostly a how-to book. But in the beginning of the book, there's a little bit about kind of how I, a quick story of how I sort of got to that point, and a little bit how I feel about it, and a bit about drying and foraging. So there's little snippets of the rest of the story as well. So
weaved into it. Oh, fantastic!
Brilliant.
We'll be looking out for that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm conscious of time. And we do need to hear about your dream garden.
Yes.
So I'll hand you over to Sweetpea and she'll run through it with you.
Brilliant. So, dream garden, it can be whatever you want, wherever you want, however you want it to be. There are a few restrictions, but we'll get to those. So what would be the garden boundary surrounding your garden?
Well, I think one of the things that I really love about a garden boundary is I just love dry stone walls. So for me, a dry stone wall is just a thing of beauty, and all the things that live in it and the things that grow in it. It's just, I love that.
Is Hereford Cotswold area? Is that Cotswolds still?
No, so we're right on the Welsh border here. So we're a bit further over.
Okay.
So we're probably a couple of miles from the Cotswolds. We're on the Welsh side of things.
Right.
So it's
you have a lot
rural.
of dry stone walls around there.
Yeah, quite a few. Not to the extent of the Cotswolds. There's not many of them left. But yeah, totally. They would have been, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
And so do you envisage this being a sort of a low one, so you've got rolling hills and views, or would you like quite sort of high, so you're hidden away?
I think a medium-sized, lowish. I don't think I need to be hidden away. I love to be elevated, to have a bit of a view and outlook. So that's quite important to me. So to see out. But they're so sort of solid, aren't you? I just love the fact that you feel kind of wrapped.
What kind of barrier do you have in your garden actually at the moment?
So my garden is, well, we do have dry stone walls, but not in the form of walls. We have them in old, barns and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So the boundary in our garden is literally a fence, a stock fence. That's it. And with trees that used to be a hedge many years ago, but they're just overgrown, sort of hazels and thorn trees.
That's nice.
So it's nice. It's a lovely bushy boundary with a stock fence. It's nothing.
And what do you have on the other side? Are you fields and?
It's just fields, yeah. It's all very
lovely
rural farmland. So
gorgeous.
I heard that you're very isolated. Your nearest neighbour's a quarter of a mile away. Is that
right? So we are. It's So it doesn't feel. It doesn't feel isolated, because in that way, it's just the top of the track over the road and down their track. It's kind of. But it's a track distance. It's a few fields in any direction to get to a house. A couple of fields away.
But it does mean you can sing at whatever volume you like when you're in the garden.
Yeah. But the chances are somebody will probably hear me on the breeze. You get little voices that come through of somebody chatting or laughing. So you can just about hear people.
Nice. That's nice to hear that, isn't it?
Yeah, but you have the privacy. So it's the best of both, really.
Would your dream garden be in the UK?
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, I do love the UK. I think the growing here is incredible. So I'd say yes, but a lot of the gardens that I really love is in France.
Oh, right. Whereabouts?
To be honest, almost anywhere, but like, say, the Dordogne or the Loire Valley, I really love the fact, maybe it's just because they're quite old-fashioned and it's more like it used to be in the UK, probably, pre-Victorian times. But, when they just have that front garden, it's right by the house, and it's cabbages and squashes and sweet corn and cosmos, and it's all kind of together. Yeah, and it's right by where they live. It's kind of, they're immersed in their garden, and it's what they eat and what they love, and what's beauty. It's the beauty of that. I feel very inspired, and we don't get that much in the UK. It's kind of changed quite a lot, I think.
When we were there, it was really, really baking hot.
It was.
Yeah.
Would you like that kind of heat as well? That appeals. No, okay.
I'd like a bit more. I wouldn't like really, really hot, because I think it's a whole different thing. Although it does have its, it's got its good points. I'd like the UK to be a bit hotter than it is at times, though.
Oh, well,
at the moment it's amazing.
We're working
isn't it?
on it.
It's, obviously within reason, but I suppose, and I know everyone says this, but when I was a child, the summers were roasting, the winters were quite cold, and I quite like that.
That is great.
Contrast.
Yeah.
Whereas it feels like it's all. It feels like recently in the UK, it's kind of been grey in the winter and sort of a bit mushy, and a bit grey and mushy in the summer, and it's all been a bit linear.
That's a good description. It sums it up.
So the definition, I love the seasons, and I know you still get that in France, but I wouldn't necessarily want to swap it. I think the UK's good.
And this year, so far, so good.
Brilliant, amazing. Compared to last year.
That's a good one.
Just absolutely incredible, yeah.
Great. Would you like a shed or a greenhouse if you had to choose between the two?
It would have to be a greenhouse.
Of course. What are the absolute essentials that you have to have in your greenhouse?
Do you mean sort of plants?
Plants and tools, or anything specific you use? Like, I know some people, they have propagating sandboxes in their greenhouse. Yep. There are specific things like that. What do you have?
Because I don't have a greenhouse, I've got a polytunnel. So I've got a great big sort of 50 by 20 foot polytunnel, which I absolutely love. It's like It's like, I don't know, it's like my Garden of Eden in there, because
Wow.
my garden's quite high up, so we've got quite short summers and the evenings can be quite cold. So, I have that, and it's full of flowers and tomatoes and peppers and aubergines and herbs and salads.
Oh, lovely.
And zinnias, and I grow my dahlias in there actually as well, because they flower really well in there and they don't do that well outside here. So
do you keep them in the polytunnel or do you then transfer them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have one bed, and it's great because you don't have to dig them up.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And they cut, they're already up beautifully now. So they're up really early. And so they're flowering kind of by June, they'll be flowering.
Are they for cut flowers? Or
I dry them.
Oh, you dry those?
Pom-pom ones.
Yeah, they dry really well. And so they just, I cut them every 2 days. That's how quickly they flower in there.
Wow.
Just hang them up.
That's all that's
literally
involved?
hang them up and let them dry. And they take quite a long time. But if they're the doubly, fairly double ones, they just shrink but stay the same size and colour. It's great.
So they maintain their colour as well?
Yeah. They might change. Some of them change. It's quite exciting to see.
Yeah.
Like if you had a pink, it might end up drying to a purple, or
amazing.
so you can get variations, and they all dry differently. So it's a bit of a sort of fun game to see. Occasionally you get one that looks amazing and then just dries to a sort of putrid sort of brown colour, which is a bit of a shame. And it's like, why does that one do that?
No. We can relate to that a bit with when you were doing your resin, Sweetpea, and you were picking flowers for that, and we'd pick a really pretty, I don't know, Albrecia flower, and then it would dry to an insipid pink, having gone from bright purple.
Yeah.
And there were plenty of flowers that ended up a kind of brown.
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah, I've realised I need to dry them properly
That
this
helps
time,
as well.
because otherwise you just put them in the resin. I thought, well, the resin will stop them from changing colour because it's kind of like fixed in something, and they just went, "Nuh-uh, I'm changing colour, brown."
Yeah.
So we've got a few necklace pendants with just a brown mush in them.
Nice. A lot of
You've
effort.
got to start somewhere.
I suppose. Do you use silica gel for drying them, or?
Oh no, I don't.
You mean like those sachets that you get?
The sort of crystal. You can buy
Yeah.
tubs of crystals to dry flowers in, and you put them in it, and then it sort of dries them quite quickly. For small flowers, it's really good.
But with yours, you just hang them all in in that studio you're in now.
Yeah.
Because it's very bright. You've got loads of sunlight in there.
It is. What I do is I hang them in the ceiling, so it's kind of indirect light. And then once they're dried, which takes 2 to 5 weeks, once they're dried, then I've got a darker storage area where once it's totally bone dry, I can kind of pack them in a bit closer together.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So so they can cope with a certain amount of light as long as it's not shining directly on them.
Right.
Okay.
But not for too long. Yeah.
And then how long do they last as a dried flower after that?
Well, it varies. I've had a lot of my wreaths I keep for about 5 years.
Wow.
And it's normally the cobwebs that get to me before the fading. They do gradually fade, but it's a gradual thing. And I still think it looks beautiful in all the stages. It's just, it's, so I think you kind of you get a year out of them being full, the full colour, full bright, looking lovely. And I say after a year, they gradually become slightly more muted. And, I've done people's wedding flowers and they've still got the stuff, 10 years later, they've still got them, so it just depends on your taste.
For your greenhouse in your dream garden, what kind of greenhouse would you like? What style, form, size, colour even?
If I could have any greenhouse, I'd like a really pretty old-fashioned, probably be a green colour. I think a green colour.
Sage green.
Sage green, yeah.
Everyone loves that.
It'd be big because you want lots of space. But I just, you get some of those ones that are just really beautiful and they've got the kind of carved gable ends, and they're just beautiful in their own right. I'd love one of those. That someone else cleaned.
Wooden framed ones.
Framed. Someone else cleaned it and repaired it.
And maintained it, exactly.
Built it, looked after it.
Basically as big as possible. Big as possible.
Oh, can you imagine? And would you have it with a sort of those ones with a low stone wall, or would you have glass right down to the ground?
I like growing things in the ground, so I'd have beds in there to plant into rather than just, stuff in pots, because I don't know, I just think there's something nice about having proper soil to put big things into that aren't going to wither away and dry out.
Gorgeous.
this is always my favourite part, and I'm very interested to hear what you're going to say. What would be 5 ornamentals that you must have in your garden?
Do you realise how cruel this question is?
Yeah.
It's
Everyone
almost
says this.
impossible.
It is.
It's awful.
It's like trying to choose which is your best child.
Yeah.
Oh dear, this is hard. The only way I can really narrow this down, because obviously it's an impossible question, is that there's a few things that I really love and grow, and it doesn't matter what role they play, I just love them and I have to have them. So I'm going to give you those because that's the only way I know how to limit this. So I always have a few pansies because I just love pansies.
Really?
And I always have done. I mean, this is going right back to when I was younger. I just love they've got faces. They're little people. And I just love all the different sizes and
colours.
like
the colours of pansies
watercolours.
is extraordinary.
It is. They're like watercolour paintings, aren't they? So that would be one.
Definitely.
Iceland poppies. I always grow Iceland poppies. They are,
of course.
They're just fairies. They're fairy
Stunning.
dresses on a stem.
It's a good way of describing them. We were talking about them only day before yesterday because we saw on Gardener's World, Carl Suki, he had Beth's poppies. And I was wondering if they were the ones that Sweetpea had been growing in her wildflower patch, but hers were Icelandic poppies. Yeah. They are so beautiful. They didn't last long.
No.
But we managed to get lovely photos of them. But like you say, little fairies on stems, they're so stunning.
Silk.
Yeah.
I know exactly. They don't last long, but it's just that beauty that is just so, I don't know, it's just too good to miss.
And also you get quite a nice range of the pastely colours. Easy to sow, did you say, Sweetpea?
Yeah, they were easy to sow. And I find this was quite a lot of poppies. They could look so amazing. I remember in a Gardener's World magazine issue, this was a good year or so ago, we got these really beautiful black swan poppies. And they're like a kind of frill parrot shape, but then they're this proper deep purple, almost black.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh gosh, these are very pretty. I must sow them perfectly in pots in the greenhouse early on. They hated that. And then I realised that I need to sow them outside, and that's when you start getting seedlings, because they like being outside. They are tough.
Yeah. But those Icelandic ones I would say they're one of my favourites.
But I mean, there's the variety of poppies. I mean, I grow all the other sorts as well, but I think the Iceland ones are ones that, you know, they're just special.
I love that choice.
Do you use just the seed heads, or do you dry the flower?
With the Iceland poppies, I don't dry them. I mean, it's just for me because I love them. It's not. That's what I mean. It's like, and the same with the pansies. It's not because they work for me. I just love them, and I want to have them in my life, and so I always have
course.
You know.
Do they work all right as a cut flower?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Iceland poppies, actually, of all the poppies, they're the best ones.
Really?
Yeah.
We should
so
have
they
cut
will
those
last.
ones, Sweetpea.
Yeah. They can last like I say 2 to 3 days, or maybe 4 days. Right. But what you can do is when you do a bouquet, you pick some that are sort of freshly opened, and you pick some that are just about to open, and some that are going to open. You can pop the buds in. So as one sheds its petal, another one's opening. So you
that's
can
brilliant.
Make sure that you've got all the stages in the same bouquet, and that way, you know, you can extend it to a week. Yeah.
And the stems don't just flop over?
No,
they support
quite
themselves
good.
Well. Oh.
I mean, you can always do that thing where you sear the bottom couple of centimetres in a bit of boiling water for 10 seconds, and that helps to support the stem, because they have got a very fine stem to quite a big head, and that's the thing of getting enough moisture up that stem. So doing that little searing thing can help. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Just talking about your garden, do you have some areas, some borders or beds that you have just for yourself with plants that aren't being cut for dried flowers?
Well, I used to have more, but since I've stopped doing the fresh cut flowers, I just squeeze in a few of my bits in amongst everything else. So I've probably got certain areas that will be a little bit more kind of less kind of farmy and a little bit more kind of my things. But most things can be cut and dried in my garden, apart from a few bits and pieces. Okay. Yeah. So
what was the land like before you added beds in? Was it very difficult?
It was just a field. There was nothing at all. It was just an open, overgrown field. And so we started from nothing. So it's been interesting because there wasn't the sort of structure of boundaries and kind of already established ground that a lot of gardens have. So I found that quite hard to sort of divide it up and decide where I'd put things, because each area is a big area to look after. So you kind of want to try and not have too much to weed and look after. So I've created everything that's here and the structure. So I've got one area that's kind of got all my intense beds. I've got the polytunnel. And then gradually I'm adding more little beds where there's a sunny patch. It's like, well, I'll just do a raised, and put a bit of cardboard down, put some edging around, chuck some soil in, and I've got all those seedlings that can go somewhere now, kind of thing. Yeah. I've done that a bit as well. So, yeah.
Do you have an area of lawn?
Yeah.
Or not really?
So basically what we've got is we've got like a bungalow, sort of wooden bungalow cabin, and the garden kind of wraps around it. Mm-hmm. So I really love it that when you can, my studio has got big French doors and you can step straight out into the garden, and it's almost like a sort of room.
Wow.
Out of the back door. So, and that's got fruit trees around it. And then my cutting garden's quite close to that. So we're really immersed in what is there to enjoy it as well as to work on it. So it's
sounds idyllic.
I mean, I suppose in a way it is going back to that sort of French style, or perhaps how it used to be in the UK, medieval sort of gardening, where what you grow is right next to you. You're in the middle of it, rather than it being tucked around the corner, hidden behind a fence. It's kind of around us.
You're in amongst it all.
Well, then what are the 3 other ornamentals for your garden?
So on there, I always grow zinnias.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love zinnias. No, because they're just all like candy to me. They are amazing. I've got a lovely packet of, I've got some floret unicorn zinnias that I've got going this year, which is a real treat.
What are they like?
So they're basically just a mixture of kind of lime. They're hard to describe. They're all kind of beautiful colours, but they've all got a slightly mauvey blue tinge in the centre, like the edges of the petals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
So it's very sort of dreamy colour scheme, and I'm quite excited about that. So I've got a nice tray of seedlings coming on.
What does the unicorn bit of the name refer to?
I think it's just the kaleidoscope of colour variations, because they're all kind of like, the colours almost bleed into each other. So you could get one pinky one and one that's pink with a little bit of cream on the edges of the petals, but they all have this slightly bluey tinge, so they're all or limey green, but the colours all go together.
So like a sweet pea.
Just kind of, they just blend, but just a very lovely mix. But, and there's lots of other real candy colours that I grow. So for drying, I use one called Oklahoma, which is it's a really frilly double.
Oh, okay.
Because most of the zinnias don't really dry that well. Their petals kind of collapse too much. But the really double ones, like Oklahoma, are good because the doubleness almost holds the flower shape.
Yeah.
So they dry quite well.
I've always done the kind of the normal zinnias, just the ones that you kind of find easily in a shop.
Yeah.
Just the kind of reds and pinks and stuff like that. And I've never found those ones particularly beautiful.
Very flat colours.
Very flat colours. And then this year, we found a packet of seeds. This is utterly amazing. And they're called Cinderella Peach.
Yeah,
and there are these
I'm growing some of those too.
You are? Oh my
gosh. They look incredible, don't they?
They're so amazing. They've got like this little pink cushion. And then, I'm so looking forward to seeing what they're going to look like.
Same.
Totally changed our view of zinnias. Before we were just like, no, I'm not really into them. They're too flat.
The pincushion ones, it's the way to go. Those sort of, the double ones, the pincushions, they're just incredible.
Gorgeous.
I'm so looking forward to seeing them.
And easy to grow as well.
Really easy. Yeah. I mean, I grow mine in
almost,
the polytunnel, again, to get the flowering, because they don't really do that well for me. It's not really warm enough, but outside, but yeah.
And then what are the 2 other ornamentals?
So the other one that I struggle with, but I love so much that I still kind of batter myself with it, is ranunculus.
Oh, there are so many flowers that we do this to, just because
I just love ranunculus, and they really don't want to grow for me.
Why not? What's their issue?
I think part of it is my issue that I don't ever do them early enough.
Right.
Because again, I grow them in the polytunnel, and one
they're
probably need to buy.
They're a little rhizome, aren't they?
They're tiny little rhizomes. So one mistake I make is that I need to buy the expensive ones, because they are so much of a bigger corm, much better quality. They're much more robust.
Okay.
And which I haven't done properly, and so I keep getting single ones. 2, really, ideally, you want to be kind of planting them kind of September, October, so that they're already well up before winter. So they're green. And so when it gets to spring, they flower really early and they're really strong and beautiful and they don't rot in the ground. Whereas I tend to think, oh, it's Christmas and I've cleared the tomatoes away and now I'm ready to put my corms in. But of course, it's already quite cold and then they kind of rot very easily and don't get strong before the winter. So yeah, that's what I keep doing. And then they rot or the mice eat them or they just disappear. And
so when you successfully grow them, you're putting them in earlier at the back end of the year.
So you need to be, it feels still like summer then, doesn't it? Sort of September, October, you still feel in
a bit of warmth in the ground.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel the time to be sowing stuff for the following spring necessarily. And I kind of just miss that by a couple of months each year. Yeah. But it's the crucial moment, really.
Is that about the same time as when you put daffodils in the ground? Oh no, we do those later, November time.
Yeah, so you can get away with those a bit later.
Okay.
Because
tulips you can go way later.
Yeah,
can't you?
I mean you can do later with ranunculus, but because I've got to grow them inside, I don't know. They just they rot easier.
Oh no. You trying any this year then?
So this year I've been picking a few, and I really wanted orange ones. They've all come out single, which doesn't really dry very well, and I got them in too late, so they're all hitting this heat and just going over really quickly. I'm going to get posh ones next year. I'm going to do it early enough, I'm going to have, I'm going to get the beautiful Italian ranunculus that they're big fat double ones, so they're beautiful. So
it's interesting. It sounds counterintuitive that it's the double ones that dry better than the single ones. I would imagine that it'd be too much all clumped together and they would rot.
I think it's just they hold their petals sort of, their petals kind of just support it. They shrink but stay in the shape.
I see what you mean.
Just shrivel up and kind of,
Perfect sound effect.
Where do you source your posh ranunculus rhizomes from?
Oh, yes.
Well, that would be most likely somewhere like Italian ranunculus. They are a brand of very nice ranunculus. Or I think, is it Green and Gorgeous Flowers also sell some that are equally as beautiful.
Are these all online?
Yeah.
Where do you get your seeds from? Do you just go down to like the supermarket or whatever? Or...
Don't tell her. Please don't tell her, Layla.
Yeah.
I end up buying so many seeds for her.
Out of all the addictions you could have, it could be worse.
This is true.
I think it's pretty good.
And we all have it. We buy more than we need. And, I have a few places. So I get a lot of them from Chiltern Seeds.
Okay.
I think, with trying to get stuff for dried flowers, you do have to kind of shop around a little bit. So to get everything that you want, Plants of Distinction, really good. And then someone that I've tried this year is Black Shed Flowers. Small seed, they grow cut flowers, but they also do a few of their own seeds, and I've been so impressed with their seeds. They're mostly kind of grasses and stuff, but they're really generous packets, and the germination has been phenomenal. Like you get this great big packet full of seeds, and then you get a million of them germinating, and it's like, wow, this is so exciting. So yeah, that's been really good.
Do you do grasses from seed?
Yes, I do a lot. I do the little bunny tails.
I love those.
I do the fibre optic grass, which is that like powder puff.
Oh yes.
It's literally really fine sort of spray. I do the millets, the ones with the big sort of slightly, you get greens and reds, the kind of big sort of heads. Doddering dillies, the quaking grass.
Yes.
They're called Doddering dillies. They're kind of like, they almost look like little oat droplets, the kind of, they're very lovely, cascading sort of.
That's the one we lost, by the way, Mummy.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
well, that doesn't narrow it down. We've lost a lot of plants. Do you dry all of these? These are all for your arrangements.
So I have lots, yeah.
You talked about having a neutral background and then layering on top of that. So those are your fillers.
Yeah, I mean, basically with grasses, because I also forage quite a lot of grasses in various stages as well from the verges, because there's so much out there, the textures and stuff. And if you pick them at different times of year, you get different colours as well and stages of development. So so for my background, it tends to be the sort of the fine and more delicate neutral stems before I put the flowers on. It gives you a bit more background, build up the depth of a design.
Right.
And grasses can also add the final touches where you really want just fine detail to kind of lift and give a delicate feeling as the last bit as well. So it's kind of, they have different roles.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well then, final ornamental, what will that be?
Well, this is a bit of a funny one. I had to sort of, give this one a bit of thought, and I've put vegetables.
Just all the vegetables?
Because I just love the look of vegetables. I just really
All
do.
vegetables?
I mean, just love the look of how vegetables are ornamental. To me,
Yeah.
I just, I've all my kale and my leeks and my squashes and the peas growing up, the hazel sticks. To me, a vegetable bed is a thing of absolute beauty, and I really love it. And it's the optimum feeling of opulence and kind of good times,
And there is a romance to it as well with this Beatrix Potter illustrations as well. I always think of these beautiful laid out vegetable gardens and cottage gardens with the veg all in as
exactly.
well.
I do love that.
So I can understand where you're coming from.
I do that. You have slightly destroyed the structure of the dream garden because we have got 5 edibles afterwards.
Yes, that's okay. Don't worry, I can do that too.
You've still got that too.
This
okay.
is having the veg for ornamentals. So.
Okay.
This is just enjoying the look of it as part of my garden.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of pleasure from it. So I had to put it in.
Of course. Well then, what would be 5 edibles?
So I'm a massive salad head.
Same.
I eat and grow a lot of salad, mostly in the polytunnel. So that's kind of a separate thing. But
perfect.
All through the year. So I do it all winter. And again, I'm sowing my winter salad crops in August and September, ready to overwinter. And I just love fresh salad.
So you eat that daily?
Yeah. In fact, I had a nice fresh juice because I've got a bit of a glut of it coming on now. So I juiced a load of it as well. Just had a green juice.
I would love a glut of salads to make my green juices.
Whereas I've got so much salad right now that I can't eat enough of it. So I'm just thinking, right, shove it through the juicer, because I might as well.
Wow.
What else do you put in your green juices?
I just a bit of lemon juice, might put a bit of ginger, maybe an apple, a bit of celery, maybe.
Yeah, a bit of sweetness.
Just, a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of moisture because, the leaves don't have that much moisture. So it's quite nice to put, a bit of cucumber or something just to bulk it up a bit.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Oh, I'm wanting a green juice now.
What are the other edible plants?
Tomatoes.
Of course. Any specific ones?
My favourite tomato is orange Wellington. It's an orange beefsteak. And it's just, for me, I really love it. It's got a really savoury taste. It's not a really sweet one. It just tastes like pure savoury tomato. And they get quite big, but they're just really reliable. So they're a beefsteak, but they're the first to fruit and ripen. And they just have a massive crop. Brilliant. They're really easy, really reliable, taste great. And it's one of my main ones that I grow. But I mean, I grow probably about 10 different sorts. So.
Oh, do you? That's good to know that this is an early one because Sweetpea, you were concerned last year all our tomatoes were quite late in the season, weren't they?
Yeah,
I could do some earlier varieties.
Because last year I had a slight craze of doing purple tomatoes because I thought they were just stunning. And I thought I really want salads to be beautiful. So I wanted purple tomatoes.
Yeah.
I even sowed rainbow chard. That was it. Mm-hmm. That was amazing. So I just had a craze of having everything rainbow. Yeah. But I then figured out I then figured out that the amount of anthocyanin, I think it is, in the tomato makes it ripen really slowly.
Yes.
So it took forever to ripen. So I had tomatoes only in September, and I was like, "What is going on?"
We were quite concerned, weren't we? Because everyone else was saying we're eating all our tomatoes, and we had nothing to eat. For most of the summer.
Exactly. Yeah. So this year I'm doing some purple varieties. I'm doing a beefsteak called ananas, so a yellow one. It's meant to be really juicy, and then I've got some cherries. So hopefully we should have some all year round.
Should do. Well, the yellow ones probably will come on sooner. I think as you say, the darker they are, the longer they take. So
So we do need to go rainbow with the tomatoes, Sweetpea, and get the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and the purples.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay! And the same with the cherries as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have a plan.
We have a plan.
Sounds very sensible.
It does, doesn't it? Right up your street.
Yeah. What are the other 3 edible plants?
So one of my things on here is a little bit different, but mushrooms.
Oh, great choice.
I've started growing my own. I'm saying this in quite a loose way, trying to grow my own mushrooms.
That's so cool. How are you doing that?
Yes.
So I did. It started off from going foraging and discovering oyster mushrooms in the middle of winter, and I was so excited. It's winter. There's nothing out there, but there's oyster mushrooms.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
I thought, right, I'm going to grow my own. So I made myself this elaborate bed with logs and straw, and I put all these plugs and various things.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
Where did you get your
Literally
plugs
nothing
from?
happened. So I bought them from a place called Merit Mushrooms.
Right.
Okay. And they sell the mycelium, and they sell the plugs and all the bits that, all the different ways you can grow them. And nothing happened. I think that they got invaded by another type of, if you get a rogue fungus in there, it can sort of put them off. So then I bought some ready inoculated kind of mushroom blocks in bags, and I grew them in the house.
Okay.
In sort of clear plastic boxes, and that was really successful.
Were you having to spritz them 3 times a day?
Yeah. But they were my babies. I didn't mind. It's like, how are you today?
Let me go spritz my mushrooms.
Spritzing.
Yeah, exactly. Girl, the kids were looking at me like I was absolutely mad. They were in my bedroom.
In your bedroom.
In your bedroom.
My children at the end of my bed. Yeah, exactly. Totally.
Beautiful. And how quickly did they produce?
I think it was within about a month.
Okay.
I think they can be quicker. I think it depends on what varieties you get.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get ones that were a little bit slower, but maybe a little bit less tricky. So I just got kind of like blue oyster mushrooms, I think, and they took, within about sort of 2 or 3 weeks, they started to do their little thing of pinning, where they little babies start to come, and that's really exciting then, because then you're sort of misting them the whole time.
You could come up now.
I'm just going to go sit with my mushrooms.
But I mean, what's great about it is my kids and even their cousins. I've started a kind of craze of mushroom eating, which nearly everybody goes, I hate mushrooms, but because these oyster mushrooms are a bit different.
Yeah.
Everyone loves them.
So are you good at IDing mushrooms?
Yeah.
Do you know your mushrooms?
Not really.
Right.
I'll eat parasol mushrooms, field mushrooms, and oyster mushrooms, because I know I can't go too far wrong with those.
Yeah.
But when it comes to ones that, it could look a little bit like this deadly one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you might die.
I mean, maybe since I've had kids, that's got a bit worse. I don't want to try it out on myself or on them, so it's not worth the risk. Because I'd like to be a bit braver.
I love the idea of growing mushrooms. My concern is exactly that. Yeah, absolutely love mushrooms. I don't have the confidence. Even getting a kit, I would worry that some rogue deadly one had snuck in there. Or is that just not a possibility?
I don't think that's a possibility. I think they get the spores from the safe mushrooms, and that's that. I don't think there's any chance of danger in there.
Nasty sneaking in. And your little mushroom area in the garden, are you going to give that another go? Or are you just going to keep the ones in the bedroom?
I'm hopeful. I mean, I've heard that sometimes that if you inoculate a log with the little plugs, that it can take a couple of years, and suddenly they'll just pop up. So I'm hopeful
there's still hope.
All is not lost. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you have to let us know if something comes.
Yeah.
Because it is exciting.
It is.
I have a feeling I'm going to walk into your bedroom now and just find boxes of mushrooms, and you're just going spritz.
I'm very tempted.
The mad mushroom lady. Yeah, it is really good. I have to go and look at them.
Do you come see my etchings or come see my mushrooms?
Yeah, I know.
Very
only
romantic.
Certain people. Yeah,
completely. Another question I wanted to ask was: are you a big cook? Do you cook lots with homegrown fish?
I think maybe being a good cook is maybe I'm not like a real chefy person, but yes, I love cooking with fresh veg, fresh produce. I really love it. I love cooking. I'm not like an expert.
No.
I tend to make up a recipe rather than follow a recipe sort of person. I might use a recipe for inspiration, but I kind of mock it up and but yeah, totally. I mean, that's what motivates me each year. I go, the veg is so much hard work, and then I can't live without it. It's so exciting.
Sounds like our house.
Does sound like our house.
It's just like going out and picking a bowl full of fresh veg and putting it straight in the pan. The flavours, it's so easy to cook. It's just heaven.
It is. And also even better, I think, is going out getting fresh veg that can then go straight into a salad without cooking, and so you're just
Totally.
chopping
Yeah,
up the
exactly.
beautiful
Raw.
produce, and it looks
Yeah.
stunning in the bowl. Like,
It
just
does.
you have to take photos and share those photos because it's so stunning. No one
Yeah.
else cares about your salad that you're having
No,
for lunch.
No, totally.
So many photos.
You just
of
have
the
to show
salad.
the world.
Yeah.
Look, I know, I
Look at
do.
my
It's
salad.
really embarrassing. It's like I have to say, "Oh, look at my salad," and I think, "Oh, they're probably just thinking, oh, shut up, go
Yes,
away."
shut up about your salad.
Just salad.
Don't care. I don't like
a sandwich
salad
already.
Yeah,
I want a sandwich, just a plain sandwich.
yeah, like green stuff.
Do you have any
Yeah.
specific recipes, like a favourite recipe of yours that you like to cook?
Well, I do really like using all the fresh produce on a fresh pizza. So, if you do a fresh, I've got an
sounds
outside,
amazing.
a pizza oven, and
Oh, wow.
so making a tomato sauce with fresh tomatoes
That's
and
amazing.
fresh basil, and simmering that down, and then topping it with kind of fresh aubergines and peppers, and and rocket, and having that as with a few flower petals sprinkled over it is just
That
as heaven
sounds
to me,
amazing.
It's getting near to lunchtime and I'm salivating.
I've never thought of doing a pizza like that with all our fresh produce
Yeah.
on.
We need
It's
know
just
that.
it's heavenly.
Sweetpea's going to log that now, and this summer we're going to be having it.
Yeah.
We'll send you a photo.
And again, you have to take photos of it because it's like, oh, look at my pizza. It's just amazing.
we know we found a kindred spirit. You'll like our photos.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I look forward to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. Well then, what's the last two edibles for your dream garden?
So the last two. So the next one is going to be flowers. I love.
Oh,
eating
Okay, what are
flowers.
you doing here? We've got vegetables and flowers. We've got flowers and vegetables. I am going
I
mad.
know, sorry. It's all interchangeable. I know, sorry.
I could just see Sweetpea's having a meltdown over there.
Oh my
It's all
God.
about how things look. It's all about
I
how
get
things
it.
look, I'm afraid.
Oh.
So
flowers
flowers
are you using?
I use some of my pansies for that, but I also always
Oh.
have nasturtiums. I have to have nasturtiums. It's another
of
flower
course.
that
So pretty.
I have a
and
pesto as
primroses.
Primroses,
well.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there are other flowers. There's lots of other flowers that you can eat, like cornflowers. You can even eat tulip petals, but some of them look better than they taste. But
Yeah.
actually, do you know what looks lovely is rather than eating a whole cornflower head, take the petals, and if you sprinkle those little dark blue petals throughout a salad or even on a pizza, it looks stunning.
Gorgeous.
A little bit of confetti.
Yeah.
Just the confetti of blue, and with maybe some golden marigold petals, it just looks
Marigolds are gorgeous.
just-
We always grow a lot of nasturtiums around our veggie garden and just let them trail around everywhere. And then
Yeah.
Get mad.
we
Yeah.
make a pesto out of all the leaves. Have you ever made a pesto?
exactly.
And it's
I
so
haven't,
delicious.
no.
It's actually the
That
best
sounds really
pesto
good.
I've ever had. I prefer it
It
to
is.
basil pesto.
Wow.
Sometimes we've done a rocket
Yeah.
pesto, but the nasturtium leaf pesto
Good. Oh,
is
try that.
really worth
Yeah.
trying. Yeah.
Because
Really
I've just
good.
been making wild garlic pesto, which
Oh,
is
yum.
just
Oh, yummy.
absolutely incredible.
Oh, God, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it was supposed to be about flowers, wasn't it?
Exactly. And the last edible, is this going to be, what could that be?
What could that be?
So the last ones for me is fruit. I grow a lot of raspberries, apples, plums, strawberries, blueberries. You name it. Fresh fruit. Go out for breakfast, grab a bowl full of raspberries, fresh off the bush.
You mentioned
Kids pack
earlier
lunches.
you've got fruit trees outside your double doors of your studio.
Yeah.
Were they already there, those trees, or you've planted those?
No, we put everything in. So
Right. What sort of size are they at now?
Well, they're pretty big.
Right.
They're fully grown. I mean, I put them in kind of 17 years ago, so they're pretty full sized.
Okay,
And underneath my fruit trees, I've got loads of raspberry canes that I've let grow sort of as another layer.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So I have raspberries kind of creeping around amongst the rose bushes and the fruit trees as well.
So there's so much more to your garden than just the growing the flowers for
Yeah.
your cut flower stuff. Do you do visits around your garden, or only if you come for a workshop?
I haven't done visits. The thing is, we live quite a long way for a lot of people. So I mean, if people can arrange to come and have a look round if I've got time, and certainly with the workshops, people have a good nose about. But it's not really just off. You can't just nip in.
It's not
a
an
proper,
NGS garden, for example.
No. And also, as I said, it's not like a farm, so it's quite it's not like there's loads to see.
But you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, if there was enough interest, I would certainly do that. It's just haven't got round to it, I suppose.
No, well, you're pretty busy with other things, I guess.
Yeah.
What's one statement tree for your dream garden?
So, again, almost impossible to answer this because I like lots of trees. But one thing that I really love is a tree in the shape of a mushroom. Sort of like a sort of little stem and then a kind of wide canopy,
Yeah, I can see this.
That's kind of a little slightly flat and sort of wide.
I thought you were going to bring mushrooms to trees, and I just thought, what's
no,
going
I
on
know,
here
sorry.
again?
A tree made out of mushrooms. Haven't you heard of a mushroom tree?
She's going to need a lie down after this, aren't you, Sweetpea?
I am. I'm just going to be lying in my bed going, okay, and breathe.
We finally
nothing
broke
straight.
Sweetpea.
Yeah.
Okay. Mushroom
Don't know
shape.
whether to feel proud of that or not. So like a Crataegus prunifolia, which is basically a type of thorn tree, but it's not so thorny and it has kind of bigger leaves and bigger berries, and it really grows in a kind of a flat lollipop sort of shape. Or maybe even something like a quince tree. They have that lovely kind of spreading habit, and and I've got outside the back door, I've got a damson tree which has grown in that shape weirdly. I don't know why. It was like a runt that I bought from a garden centre that was cheap. And its trunk's all gone a bit twisty, and it's it doesn't really ever fruit much, but it's grown this beautiful sort of sideways.
Wow.
And
so you haven't
everybody
pruned
goes,
it like that?
Well, I sort of prune it a bit, but it's grown sideways rather than up. I don't know why. And everyone goes, wow, what's that amazing tree? I love that tree. And it's like, it's a damson tree. But it just looks amazing. It looks great. So, yeah.
That's
that
awesome.
sounds cool. In France, going back to France, you see I've seen people put pieces of wood between branches.
Oh, yeah.
When they're small.
The bleaching.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And then that grows
bleaching,
them outwards. Is that
or
just
espalier, but
provide shade, is it, I guess? Or I don't know why they're doing
I think, the espalier, like with the fruit trees, it tends to be espalier where they're trained along wires, or you can get like a more of a block sort of pleach where they're sort of trained sideways and trimmed. And I think it's just to make a sort of topiaries or trained barrier, which again, if I had to choose a barrier, it's a lovely way of making a living barrier. Just a lot of work to keep it looking good though. So again, if I had that, I just want a team of people to look after it.
We'll assume you've got a team of gardeners there.
Yes,
your dream garden.
Yeah.
Would you like a pond or a pool in your dream garden, and what plant would you have in that space?
Well, I would love a pond.
Lovely.
They're fascinating. I do love just the life and the depth around a pond. They just just feel drawn to them. And if I had to choose a plant, that's it's quite a tricky one, but I can't resist a rather obvious water lily. I think water lilies are exquisite.
They're magical though, aren't they?
They are. There's something about them. You just go, look, it's a water lily, as if you've seen a rare bird,
Exactly.
And it's just, but it's just,
And they're just not rare, are they? They're in every pond, but they're gorgeous.
They're special, but you feel as if you've seen something miraculous every time, well, I do anyway.
So I think, trust me, the same happened with us. We put a water lily in, so we built our pond last year, and then we got some plants, put them in. The water lily just was leaves. And we didn't expect anything to happen. And when that flower came through...
I never saw it.
She never saw it. How come you didn't see it?
Because I was at school throughout the day, and it only bloomed in the sunlight
during the day
when I'm at school. So all I got was more photo. Because then it died away. I've never seen it.
I was taking photos
so
of this
sad.
left, right, and centre, and I would just go out to the pond and stare at it for a while, and head back to the house. But it's just a water lily.
I know, but you gazed at it with sort of such kind of joy and kind of I'm sorry, Sweetpea, that you didn't see it.
I'll see it this year.
What colour would you have your water lily?
Probably a pink one. I think. I love them all, but I think a pink one. It just has that kind of slight depth of colour, a sort of almost shell-like quality, which I think I'd probably go for. Kind of mid-pink. But I don't know, I couldn't name a variety off the top of my head.
And how big would your pond be?
Well, do you know what? I'd love a swimming pond that you could swim in as well.
Lovely.
So kind of fairly big, but not necessarily huge monster, because I think it's nice to be able to sort of see it and kind of feel that it's containable, not just a huge beast. But if it's big enough to get in and have a little swim, and it was lovely and crystal clear, and again, someone else was looking after it for me, keeping it all nice and clean, that'd be great.
Oh, that would be lovely. And kind of, do you want a defined edge, or do you want it kind of morphed into the landscape around it a bit?
Probably mostly morphed, but I wouldn't mind if one bit was slightly edged. If it was a swimming pool pond version, then it could have a slightly squarer swimming end, perhaps with a bit more of a natural side to it. Perhaps
for your tumble turns.
Yeah, exactly. From a water aerobics.
Yeah, for your water aerobics.
Synchronized swimming.
yeah, exactly. My Lilo.
Is your head gardener the instructor for the water aerobic, or you bring a separate staff in for that?
Well, I have a few hanging around that can multitask. Yeah, they happen to be weeding. They can also just do a bit of
join
water training.
Exactly. Do you have a pond where you are now?
No.
Right.
No,
is that something that you're likely to do, or there isn't the time or space?
I don't think I will. Only that our garden's on quite a slope. Mm-hmm. So it's not a naturally easy place to put one in. No. And I mean, in my dream garden, I'd have more flat areas for a start, and I'd love a running stream as well.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
If you could just put that in the order.
That's
with my
fine.
pond,
Got it.
flat garden and a stream. No sweat there, really.
Of course.
Easy. Leave it with us.
Well, the final question of your dream garden is, what would be your favourite seating area and drink to have there, and a final plant to have in that area?
So again, quite hard to narrow this one down. I love lying down in the garden and being comfortable. So I have my hammock, which I love, but I also love like a kind of a cushioned seating area or sun lounger where I can completely sprawl out in luxury, propped up. So I've got somewhere to read my book, a bit of shade, not too much, so that I can really just chill out properly, be comfortable.
Are you a sun worshipper?
Not massively, a bit. I like a bit of sun, but I'm not someone who's going to go and sit and sort of sizzle away for hours.
But you want your vitamin D.
Yeah. Have a comfortable place. Yeah.
What colour would your cushions be on your sun lounger?
Yes.
Ooh, good question. I think they might just be a kind of like stripy sort of blue and cream, or I don't know.
Nice.
Lovely.
Just sort of like summery, sort of linen-y sort of colours. Something kind of quite fresh.
And presumably a wooden sun lounger. Although I shouldn't presume, because we've had metal ones on before.
Yeah, I mean, ideally a wooden one would be nice, Something that's going to last, that you don't have to worry about. I've had a few metal ones before, and they last for a year or two, and then suddenly they sort of ping apart and kind of, and I don't like the disposableness of them,
No, not ideal.
A
nice teak sun lounger, but again, someone to maintain it. Do you have a wooden one, do you, at the moment?
I don't have a wooden one. My sun lounger packed up, so I'm just back to my hammock now.
Right.
But,
you can't go
so
wrong
it could
with
either be a sun lounger, or it could be a specially built wooden seating area with lots of cushions. And, it could be that. That would be fine.
Gorgeous.
Too.
And what drink would you like?
Well, I think a nice glass of rosé.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
because it's going to be sunny.
Yeah,
sunny and
nice
warm.
Glass of rosé.
Slight breeze and a glass of rosé. Sounds
but
perfect.
It could be champagne, or it could be, a nice Aperol spritz. Depending on the mood.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. Depending on the mood, of course.
We can have those as
standbys.
Yeah,
they're a bit more of a bit more of a party feel to them. But if it was a sunny weekend and I was on my hammock, then it would be a glass of rosé.
Yeah.
Probably,
very relatable.
Well, I think I'm going to read you back your dream garden.
Have you got the plant, Sweetpea?
The plant? Oh my gosh, I forgot the plant. I can't believe I forgot that. What was the plant for the area? Of course.
So the plant, and so I can sort of, with this, I've got my hammock underneath my green gage tree out the back where I sit with my rosé, and quite often with my laptop doing a bit of work. So around that area, I have roses or scented. I love scented flowers where I'm going to sit. So I've got roses, I've got Philadelphus. So different times of year, and then I quite often have a few lilies or a bit of nicotiana, so that at different stages there's always something really lovely to waft on the breeze.
Beautiful.
To smell and enjoy.
So you've got very good Wi-Fi signal if you've got your laptop out on your hammock.
Well, it's just outside my studio door.
Okay.
So, I walk out of my door and into my hammock. It's like a seamless flow,
Gosh, you've got a great setup there. You don't need a dream garden.
No. What if you had to choose between the roses and the other plants, which one would be the one that you would have to have in your...
It would be the roses. Yeah.
Which one?
It's the roses. I mean, again, I don't know how I can narrow it down, but I can tell you what I've got by my hammock. I've got Strawberry Hill, I've got Spirit of Freedom, and I've got Madame Alfred Carrier, and she smells in a good. Oh, is it? Yeah, no, it's not Alfred Carrier. Sorry, it's Isaac.
Madame Isaac Perrier.
That's the one. Yeah, she
Beautiful.
smells literally like you dream of roses smelling.
Does she? And she's a really bright pink as well, isn't she?
Yeah, and good, fairly good repeat flowering, and just fills the evening air with you can just smell it. It's just
beautiful. Yeah, very nice.
That's really nice. We have got a hammock as well, and happen to have roses next to it. And I do know that scent is lovely to sit by.
There's a bit of a wafty rose smell from ours.
Yeah. Just happy. It just, for me, it's happy times, It's that smell that just makes you think of nice summer happy days.
And I also drink a glass of rosé in my hammock.
Yes.
Oh, great. Great minds think alike. Dreaming of rainbow-coloured everything gardening.
Vegetables, flowers, the lot.
Yeah,
I don't take my laptop out though.
Yeah,
mushroom trees. Yeah,
that's gonna haunt me.
Well-known mushroom trees.
Oh gosh!
Didn't you know? You learn a new thing every day.
Learn from the best.
Well,
so Layla says.
Or the word. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Obviously,
me.
don't believe a word she says. Yeah. Can't be trusted.
Well, I'm going to have to read through this dream garden back to you just in case there's anything you missed or you think, uh-oh, that doesn't sound correct. I know there are a few things that didn't sound correct, but that's for me to say.
Likes her structure, Layla.
Sorry. I'm the opposite, you see. I'm so unstructured. I am just terrible if you're a structured person.
Funny.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, you had great garden boundary of the dry stone wall that I absolutely loved in the UK.
I didn't add the other things. Yeah.
She hadn't got started yet, Sweetpea.
No.
Yeah, exactly. I was being good at that stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of the introduction to mayhem afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But that's my life. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I get it. I completely understand. Right. The dry stone wall, we're going to be in the UK a little bit hotter if possible. With pronounced seasons, you quite liked that. And you wanted lots of different things growing out of it. Slight view beyond medium size. Greenhouse, we're going for one of those kind of old ones. They look really pretty big, sizable size, sage wood frame around it, and beds that you have kind of dug in the ground in there. You had 5 ornamentals. We had pansies, Iceland poppies, zinnias, there was Oklahoma and the unicorn ones, ranunculus and vegetables, not going to talk about that. Then we had, for the edibles, we had salad, tomato, orange, Wellington, mushrooms, flowers with nasturtiums, primroses and pansies and other ones, and fruit, so we had raspberries, apples, plums. Then your one tree, we had the Crataegus prunifolia, mushroom shaped. And then we had your swimming pond with a pink water lily in there and a running stream around.
Yeah.
And then finally the seating area, we had a lovely wooden sun lounger propped up with cushions, stripy blue and cream ones, slightly in the shade with a glass of rosé, special mention to champagne and Aperol spritz depending on the event. And we had Strawberry Hill, Spirit of Freedom and Madame Isaac Perrier roses around you.
Yeah.
Sounds brilliant.
That's it. Yeah.
Absolute bliss. We'll be coming to visit very soon.
I do need to have a lie down.
Please do. Please do. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Layla. It's been really lovely chatting to you.
It has, yeah.
Oh, it's been wonderful. Thank you for having me. It's been great. It's actually quite interesting talking about my own garden in that way from how someone else sees it. So it's been really
exactly.
brilliant. Yeah.
It's been a more unique one, I think, hasn't it, Sweetpea?
Completely.
She says through gritted teeth.
Yes.
Yes. As she goes rushing to her seed catalogues to buy more things.
And have a lie down.
Have a lie down with seed catalogues.
Yes, exactly. And mushroom catalogues.
Oh no.
Well, that's been a good old chit chat with Layla.
Oh, it's fantastic. Thank you.